Welcome to Charlotte's Wandering Web with your adventurous guide to the good times, Charlotte Tweed. Each week, Charlotte takes you on the journey of a lifetime to a delightful Caribbean locale where the sun never sets on your good life at a great price. And now with her muy amigo, Carib Carter, here's your host, Charlotte Tweed.
Hi, Carter. Great to see you again today.
It is wonderful to see you. You know, we said we were going to do this on Coffee with Carib Carter on Monday. I've gotten a lot of great responses from people saying how much they like you and how they're glad you're going to have your own show. And some of them recommended, why don't you just get rid of Carter? But I deleted all those. I want you to know that.
No, we can't do that.
So go ahead.
I was going to tell you, you have a new fan. A new wonderful fan. My mother-in-law loves watching your show.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
And tell her I said thank you. That's great. That's great. And now she's going to have your show to watch too, which is excellent. Excellent. So your setting is gorgeous there. The flowers over your I guess it's right shoulder or just
right. Yes.
That shoulder. Is that what are those things?
That is right.
That is right.
When you're flipped, it's the right.
What are they? Do you know?
Bougainvillea. I have a hard time saying that word.
Okay,
Bougainvillea. You see them in Italy a lot as well. That's where I first noticed them. They're beautiful, beautiful flowers in Italy and Greece, and they'll be adorning the buildings, and they come in different colors, the purples, the pinks. They're gorgeous. I love them.
It's just gorgeous. The whole setting's gorgeous. And tell us where you are again right now.
Right now, I'm in the Mexican highlands. So we are probably the easiest for people to figure out, about an hour and a half from Mexico City. So we're in between we're out in the country, obviously, in between two towns called Malinalco and Tenancingo. Fantastic. So that is where we are.
Well, I wish I were there instead of York, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe, one day I'll come and visit, obviously.
Maybe.
Thank you. So tell us about what you are going to be doing in the weeks, months, and years to come. Where are you going to take us? What are we going to see? How are we going to do this thing?
That's a good question. There's my husband and I, a little background, we're on our own expat journey. So we are looking for our own winter or new forever home. So we're going through different countries, different areas in those countries, seeing what resonates with us, what fits our lifestyle. So we're open to going different places. Fantastic. We're open to exploring and seeing what doors open for us to go.
Excellent. So what kind of places are you going to be showing us? I got to say, I'm very excited about this. To me, This is kind of like, you and I talked about this. To me, this is kind of like the Charlotte rendition of Guy Fiero's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, where you're going to take us around, show us what's there, and introduce us to people. I love that. I just love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be fun. Like I said, we're not where we are here right now permanently. We're here for the next month for sure. So there's some different towns and areas to explore. I can talk about Malinalco, Tenancingo, where we go for groceries, because this isn't a vacation, right? It's our life. It's our life. It's good. Where are we going to live? So it's not going to be like going on a vacation and just hanging out on the beach and doing all these fun activities. It's what is it like to live here? What is it really like to live in Mexico? And Mexico isn't our final destination. We haven't completely decided yet. There's some other countries that are at the top of our list as well. So
I hope one of the countries, I want to talk about where you're going to go in Mexico, but I also want to say one of the countries I would like you to explore, because I'm fascinated by it, is, I know it's a long way, but Uruguay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check.
Yeah, they were very, very free with restrictions and that type of thing, from what I have read when the pandemic hit. So, and that's what we're looking for is freedom. And what a lot of people who are leaving their countries right now are not happy with what their governments have done. And I mean, if you would have told me a year or two ago that I would actually be considering living in a country in Nicaragua or Mexico because they were more free than Canada, I would have thought you were crazy.
They're much freer than the United States. You know, the height of hypocrisy was the Biden State
Yeah.
of the Union the other night. And folks, we're not being political here, okay? If you voted for Biden, you must be in seventh heaven right now with your $5 gas and 20% inflation. Yay! But the State of the Union, he's standing there talking. Behind him is his vice president and Nancy Pelosi. Nobody has a mask on. Nobody has a mask on. They get and hug each other as he's walking up and down. 2 weeks ago, he told us, you're all going to die if you don't get your vaccination. So I'm going to mandate it and you're fired if you don't get. It's like, this is the height of hypocrisy. And
Yes.
you're right. Nicaragua never did it. Uruguay never did it. Mexico.
No.
Folks, freedom is south of the border where Charlotte is.
There's no restrictions to get into Mexico. You don't need any tests. There's no vax passes. That's why we decided to come here as our next destination, because it was the easiest country to get into. You know,
Fantastic. And as you know, I sent you, one of the notes I sent you was from a great friend and fan of Coffee with Carter, Sarah, who said, I love Charlotte. That's great. I love Charlotte. And she said, Carter, as you know, I'm moving to Mexico. So I'm thrilled she's going to take us around and show us the country. That's great. And she's a wonderful person.
Cool. Now, Did she say does she have an area in mind, or she's kind of open to suggestions?
You know, she asked specifically about an island whose name I can't pronounce.
Okay.
Saint something. I think it was Saint something.
Isla. I can probably spell it better than I can say it. I think it's Majueres. Majueres. It's off the coast of Cancun. So I'm not sure if that's where she's looking at moving to or what, but
I just want to
I'm
say,
sure it's beautiful.
So you will go there and show us the diners, drive-ins, and dives there, right?
I'll try.
That's great. That is great. And so where are some of the other areas? How about, I mentioned last time we talked, or the time before, Chetyamal. I would really like you to visit Chetyamal and show it to us. Folks, Chetyamal to me is one of the nicest cities I've ever been in.
Yeah, you had said that. And that's the town that is on the border. I guess not quite the border, but very near Belize. So a lot of people, I'm not sure if that border is open yet. I'd have to check. Like before, pre-COVID, people would go across from Ambergris Key to Chetyamal. They would take a ferry across that channel and get groceries in Chetyamal. I believe they have a Walmart, and it's very modern, but also has the old Mexican flair as well. So
that's right. It's the best of both worlds. And it, you know, what I liked about it, and you're going to discover this and show it to us, I think, is that it's oceanfront, but it doesn't come across as touristy. Yeah. Which I liked a lot.
Yeah, I like that too. And where we are, this is not a tourist area at all. English is not spoken widely here, and my Spanish is lacking, but I'm learning some phrases. You have to when you're thrown into it, which isn't a bad thing. But this is the area where a lot of people from Mexico City will come for their weekend getaways to get out of the city. So, I mean, that's where we are. And the little Malinalco, the town that I'd mentioned, it is also called Magical Mexico City, which the Mexico Tourism Board has designated certain towns in Mexico with that designation, and they have to meet certain standards to qualify for that. And it's a beautiful little town. Wonderful little place.
It's just gorgeous. I think the most important, my Spanish is terrible, despite the fact my wife is Honduran. I think the most important sentence that I learned early on when I moved to Honduras while I was there was, ¿Dónde está el baño?
Where's the bathroom?
Where's the bathroom? Exactly.
Yeah.
And cafe con leche. I learned that one too.
Okay. The coffee with milk?
Coffee with milk. Coffee.
See, I'm getting it.
Down. Yeah. Then when I drank enough cafe con leche, then I needed el baño. Done.
See,
So it worked out perfectly. Give us the name of one town in particular that we can look forward for you taking us to.
the next one that we're looking to go to is Ajijic. And you spell that Ajijic. And I'm a small town girl, so Ajijic is a small town as well. It is also a cooler climate, so where you don't need heat, you don't need air conditioning. And I love that idea. Like where we are right now, the weather for me, this is ideal weather for me. Ideal
Wow.
weather. It's like spring, the eternal spring is what it's called. So that is what it is supposed to be like in Ajijic. So that's very attractive to me. The population is around 10 to 11,000. It's also a very popular expat destination. And with a lot of Canadians, a lot of Americans, there's some Europeans as well. So there is English speaking there. And it is on Lake Chapala.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's where we're looking to go. We're, put some feelers out for places to stay. So just looking to hear back where we can get some accommodations that will work. So,
It is so funny. Right when you said Lake Chapala, I was just going to say to you, are you going to that area, Lake Chapala? Because we have a good friend who has been on Coffee with Carib Carter, I think 3 times, James Manship. And I've interviewed him like 3 times, and he has a home there.
oh,
And
okay.
oh man, they've been great interviews because he loves it. He absolutely, I think he said like 40,000 people live there, and he just loves it. He talked, the prices are low. He holds up all his fresh vegetables when he's talking to us. So I'm glad you're visiting there. Well, I'll put you together with James because he
That
has
would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a bed and breakfast or some such thing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great because it's all about connections and who who we're renting this home from. They're also checking with people they know in Guadalajara because Guadalajara is the largest city that is closest to that area. So that's the airport we would fly to. And flights internal in Mexico, we can fly there for $35.
Wow.
Total. Like that doesn't include luggage, but you can get on a discount airline if you want and fly for next to nothing. Inside the country. So we can be open to going a few different places and trying out some places because it's not going to cost us $1,000 to fly from one city to the next.
Fantastic. When I lived in Honduras, I found the same thing. The flights were they were actually dirt cheap. We had an airline, the Honduran airline, TACA, TACA, and the people called it Take a Chance Airline, but it was not. It was.
I flew on them.
Yes, I have been on those, but actually TACA was not that. It got a bum rap, but it was like I could fly from La Ceiba to Roatan for I think like $15.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
I know when we flew from Zihuatanejo to Mexico City, and I bought the more expensive ticket because, and Valeris, I believe, Valeris is who we flew on, which is one of the Mexican discount airlines. I bought the more expensive one so that we could have flexibility if there's changes or cancellations, and then it covered all our luggage, so we knew exactly what we were paying. Because when you do the discount airlines, if you just buy, yes, you can buy a $17 flight, but that doesn't include anything. So if you're just hopping from Zihuat to coming to Mexico City, great. And I know when we got on, I think us and maybe one other family were the only ones that had luggage. When the luggage carousel emptied, there was our suitcases and 2 other ones, and it stopped. And the flight was almost full. But if you can fly that affordable inside your own country, why not hop on a plane and go to Mexico City
That's great. That is great. And I should mention, I don't know whether you found this, but I found that the flights from the U.S. to the Central and South American countries, and this is not an ad, I'm not being paid to say this, but Spirit Airlines flights are like dirt cheap. I can go to Honduras round trip for $400. And, people say, well, they're not, as modern. You're on an airplane. you know, you're in a seat. An airplane seat is an airplane seat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a rocking recliner, no matter which airline you're on. It's a good deal.
Yeah. Generally, to get from the US, especially the southern US, flights are very reasonable to Central America. When we flew, because we were in Texas before we came, we flew from Texas to Belize, and
Right.
flights were very reasonable. I think $200 total. It they're very, very reasonable to get here. It is more expensive from Canada, but
It is.
it's usually more expensive to fly across Canada than to fly out of Canada. But yeah, from the southern US especially, it's very easy to get to Central America.
Well, I just got knocked off the air. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Here we go. Well, I think we have done a good job of covering the waterfront here of where we're going to be going over in the weeks, months, and I said years ahead. So any other towns you want to mention right up front that people can look forward to, so they can go to their almanac or Google, whatever, to check out?
Well, and yeah, and if there's areas they want, let me know and see what I can do. But I've always wanted to go to Tulum. I think Tulum just sounds like a beautiful town. Mazatlan shows up on a lot of places. The better life for half the price type of thing. San Miguel de Allende is another one that is popular and also has that spring-like climate that I am looking for, which you find in the highlands. The on the ocean, it's hotter, and I'm finding I really love this cool air. It's very comfortable. Other possibilities, Merida, Oaxaca. We'll see. We'll see where the door opens, Carter.
All right. This has been terrific. We are looking forward to what's coming up. Thank you so much for Charlotte's Wandering Web. And it's going to be a treat for all of us. It's
You're
delightful.
welcome.
Thank you very, very much. And I will talk to you next Tuesday.
Okay. Sounds good. Bye.
Right. Wow, folks. This is a great new podcast. Looking forward to it every week. Charlotte is just, the word I get most in emails from you all or text messages is delightful, obviously, and also very informative, very knowledgeable. So, as I tell you every podcast, let's do this thing. Fantastic.